What movement would you mobilize and why?
I would call my movement the mindful movement. Suicide is one of the leading causes of death between people aged 15 and 29. 1 in 3 people are expected to suffer from mental illnesses in their lifetime. So I believe that mobilizing people to strive for mental health would actually fix so many social ills in our society. And that is what I would mobilize. Thank you.
I call the mind the powerhouse, the tool that can change lives and the narratives that exist in our society. For any change to come about in our society, we need to empower the mind. If we do not, we will live in a society that has low levels of self-awareness. And it is my belief that education is the key to change. When I was crowned Miss South Africa, it was the fulfillment of a lifelong ambition. The most meaningful part of winning the crown was the voice that being Miss South Africa gave me, a voice that allowed me to be an advocate for people suffering from mental illnesses. The title gave me a platform from which I could make a difference. During my reign, I have made it my mission to promote mental health, using my voice to shift attitudes and to remove the stigma attached to mental illness. That is how my usually successful online mental well-being education program, Mindful Mondays, began.
Shudufhadzo Musida has, in conjunction with the South African Depression and Anxiety Group SADAG, launched Mindful Mondays.
Because with the launch of Mindful Mondays and everything that we're doing in terms of mental health, that is my Beauty with a Purpose campaign.
Yeah.
Happy Monday, it's Mindful Mondays.
I expected the sessions to be impactful, but was surprised by how quickly it became an important space for people to share their stories, get information and ask questions. Partnering up with the South African Depression and Anxiety Group and South Africa's biggest health insurance company, I invited experts who freely donated their time to join me each Monday to discuss a topic relating to mental well-being.
How can a loved one or family member help someone with mental health issues? Do you have tips, especially for people that can't really afford, let's say, group therapy? And something that you mentioned earlier is that I don't want people to get confused by it affects it's agender, so it affects girls and boys. So don't only look at the female child or the girl child. You need to be kind to yourself. You really need to be kind to yourself. And I think it goes back to something profound that you said, support people where they are, not where you think they should be.
We began our Instagram live sessions in February 2021, and within months, we had over 1 million viewers. We covered a host of topics, including something very close to my heart, women and mental health. Women are particularly susceptible to feelings of being unworthy and feeling less than. Women, I have learned during my Mindful Monday sessions, often bear the brunt of carrying the feelings of those around them without being given the time or space to examine their own. If women want to be game changers, thought leaders, it begins with being in balance both mentally and physically healthy. Of course, since we're in the middle of a global pandemic, Mindful Mondays dealt with how COVID-19 has affected everyone's mental health, including that of frontline workers. But what warmed my heart most was that during Mindful Mondays, there was a surge on social media and an outcry for help from children following the high suicide rates in schools. I was mercilessly bullied as a child, which made my school life unbearable. Since my mission was to dispel the myths around and remove the stigma from mental illness, I wrote about my own experience in a children's book, Shudu Finds Her Magic. In the end, my book imparts a message of hope.
This is my granny. You guys see her. Because you all have magic, and you just need to share it with each other by being kind and always using your voices, yes? Shudufhadzo magic! Return everything, especially bullying, with kindness. And when it gets too much, you go tell a teacher, you tell a parent, you tell someone that is older than you. Because you have to use your voice, you can't just let anyone bully you, that's not right.
The book is aimed at children aged between 4 and 12 and focuses on how to recognize signs of bullying in schools. It is published in South Africa's 6 official languages and also has online worksheets for both students and teachers. For every book sold nationally, one is donated to charities including SADAG, Childline and Biblionef. To date, we have donated 2,500 copies of the book. I'm so very proud to say that it is currently the #1 selling children's book in South Africa. This journey has reminded me of a quote by the father of our nation, Nelson Mandela. Education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world.